The last video I had painted up the interior panel, I had painted up the back panel, and I painted up the rear fenders with the taillights. Those were not mounted. Right now everything is mounted, so you can also tell that all of the logos are painted on. So on my homemade doors I painted some Fox logos just to show that these shocks are licensed. A Losi logo just to show that this is a Losi release, which is of course not true, but in the very first video hopefully that you've seen in this series, it hopefully seems that it is a Losi release. And then on the roof I painted a Troy Lee Designs logo, a RZR logo of course, because this is a Polaris RZR, Losi logo, another Fox logo, and a Horizon logo. And then on the front you see that Baja Designs logo. The Baja Designs logo is of course to tell you that there is a full light kit installed. So I'm still running the light bar in the front. I'm also running the headlights. Those were a direct transfer if you get a tiny bit creative and you use some zip ties, and I'm also using the big light bar. I also have installed some tail lights just to finish it off, and I think that in the essentials I have managed to transplant the most interesting parts, at least for me, from this Hammer Rey onto this Losi Polarey. If you see something that you think would look great on there, of course feel free to just hack it off or whatever. I wanted to have something that if I want to turn it back into an original Hammer Rey, I could do that with no damage at all. So that's how it sits currently. However, I think that I will just keep running it like this, because this has turned into such a fun truck, and I had so much fun also putting it together, and it is something unique. I hope that Losi will perhaps take some notes and I don't know, explore some further options on that Baja Rey and Rock Rey and Hammer Rey chassis, just because it is such an incredibly versatile base. I also hope that people will give Arrma a bit more credit in regards to their FireTeam cage and body. Because, I mean, it can be that it's not your cup of tea with those guys with those guns, G.I. Joe figures, whatever you want to call them, but there's so much potential in that parts list. I hope this project showcases what is possible. If you just get creative, have a look at what else is available in the Horizon hobby pool of products, and just, I don't know, put your mind to creating something unique and different, because that's, for me, what a large part of this hobby is about. So seeing what you can do with that FireTeam cage and with those body panels, and then adding your own flair by adapting some of the Hammer Rey parts and using them in this project. Like for example over here I used the shock reservoirs, well then the light kit, the helmets, the radiator, I used the exhaust system. So all of that is, of course, it's a ton of fun to see if you can repurpose some stuff. This was not super difficult in terms of machining, because these flat parts, these doors, they're all flat parts of transparent plastic. I'm really glad that the paint adhered to it well enough for me to finish it up. So this is not polycarbonate. I used polyethylene, I believe. But it works really well. It's a tiny bit softer than Lexan, so it scratches up a tiny bit quicker. But I don't think that will be an issue over here. I'm just happy that the paint sticks and that it looks as well as it does. Another thing that I really wanted to have was this see-through to those double shocks. Those shocks, those cycle completely freely. And I wanted to have some sort of neon color for those logos just to make them pop. This is a dark blue metallic color, and then an even light blue color in the back, just to tie everything together with some flat black. Use some gunmetal in between over here. I also ghosted a gunmetal Losi Polarey logo behind those front wheels. I didn't want that to look too obvious, and hopefully this throws you off enough to the point where it gets people talking a tiny bit, and it has people discussing like, hey, did you see that new Losi Polarey coming out? That would be, for me, kind of the crown on my work over here. I also needed to obscure not just the hole in the front, because that's also a reason why I put these reservoirs over here, but I also needed to address a couple of holes in the back. So over here I put some screws. These are non-functional, but these just add some more rigidity in clamping that rear panel to the cage. And then also over here there's two little holes from the tethers that you would find on the FireTeam, and I wanted to close that off as well. So I chopped up a tiny bit of acrylic and I shoe glued that in place. There's one hole left, and that is then to fix that spare tire carrier in place. I hope that kind of explains what I did over here. Last thing that I really want to show you, just because I think it came out really cool, is the light kit. So if I just turn it on, again, battery sits in the stock place. You can still drop the entire motor and pinion out if you want to do that. So nothing is altered in the functionality of this Hammer Rey chassis. You can still put the battery in from the back. The on-off switch is still in the back. And well, this is what it looks like with the lights turned on. So you have the front light bar in the bumper, then you have the two headlights, the big light bar in the cage, and then a couple of tail lights as well, two on each side, just to make sure that you have some fun during the darker days as well, because right now it's December, it's really gloomy outside. I hope this was fun. I hope you got tricked. So I really hope that that initial unboxing that I did, that it got you and your friends talking, and perhaps you had some discussions. Perhaps some people were on to me immediately. At this point, I do not know. I just know that I had a lot of fun building this thing, putting it together, and a lot of fun in just repurposing some of the gear that is available to all of us and making it my own. If you want to see more projects like this, make sure that you hit the subscribe button. Any questions, comments, hit me up in the box below. Yeah, if you enjoyed this video series, give it a thumbs up, and make sure to check also those other videos in this series. Have a good look at what's available in the Arrma range and also in the Losi range. There's a ton of cool product over there to get creative with and to create some unique RCs with. Take care. I hope I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.
Back on.